So in this problem, we asked to find the magnitude and the direction of the vector in the positive direction of a vector 3, negative 3. So it's always, whenever you have a vector type of problem, it's always a good practice to actually draw a sketch so that you see what your graph looks like, so that you see what your vector looks like. So let me draw the graph really quick, the sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. So let's say the vector 3, negative 3 square root of 3, like that. So 3 is here, 3, and negative 3 square root of 5 is about 5. Negative 3 square root of 3 is about a negative 5, so it's like negative 3 square root of 3. So I have something like that, a vector. So this is my vector right here. So the question is, the first question is to find the magnitude. And by the way, usually they can either represent vector this way, negative 3 like that, or they can represent it as 3i minus 3 square root of 3j. It's the same thing. They can write it either this way or that way. It depends. So don't freak out if you see something like that. They can either write it this way or that way. So this time they decided to write it this way. So the magnitude, they asked to find the magnitude. So the magnitude will be what? So a square root of the x component, so 3 square plus the y component squared. Square this one right here. So 3 square is 9, plus now I have to distribute the square, so it's gonna be, and if you're not comfortable with that expression, you can directly put that in your calculator. So I will do that later on. So I distribute the square here. So negative 3, I square it becomes 9, and I square the square root of 3, which becomes just 3, and this is what I get. So 9 plus 9 times 3 is 27. So and when I add them up, it's square root of 36, and that is equal to 6. So the magnitude is 6. So like I was saying, if you're not comfortable with that, what you can do, if you're not comfortable with simplifying this expression, you can put that in your calculator. So in other words, you can write it as a square root of 3, you square it, plus negative 3 square root of 3, and you square that as well. No, let me delete that, and you square that, and it will give you the same thing, 6. So both ways work, so do whatever you're comfortable with. So that's for the magnitude. Now we have to figure out what's the direction. Direction. So the tangent theta, so to find the direction, I need to find the tangent of the angle theta. So the angle that's from here to here, we call it theta. So I need to figure out what that theta is. So tangent of theta will be equal to y divided by x. My y is negative 3 square root of 3, and I have to divide it by x, which is this one. Those two cancel, and I have negative square root of 3, like that. Now what I do, I can take my calculator here and I do tangent inverse. So to find theta, the angle, I do tangent inverse of that answer that is here. So now I can use my calculator to find that. So tangent inverse of negative square roots of 3, and I close that. I have negative 60 degrees. But remember, in the problem they ask us to find the positive negative 60 degrees. So let's say find the magnitude and the positive direction, positive. So we have a negative angle, so what do? We can find its positive equivalent. So its positive equivalent will be the same thing plus 360 degrees. So theta will be equal to, so I have my negative 60 plus the 360 degree, I get 300. So theta is equal to 300.